My name is Barbara Duers. I grew up in Bells Mill, so Mount Lebanon is the family church. And I was here when Bishop and the elder first came. So I think that's about 33 years now. When Bishop came, we considered him to be the young pastor, but Mount Lebanon was always a trailblazer. So as congregants, we were willing to allow him to be the pastor. And when he brought about some vision, we tried to make those things happen. And so change is always inevitable, so we went with the changes. And now we're here at the Mount Chesapeake. The Mount was always considered to be the first. The NAACP was birthed at the Mount. Way before my time, when there was not electricity, the Mount was the first church to have electricity. We brought about change. Other churches often saw the things that we were doing. So they also looked at those things and made changes as well. So when you consider Mount Lebanon to be the first in many areas, I think we do qualify to be part of Black history. My grandparents, my grandmother was one of the mothers of the church. So during that time, children didn't have an option about going to church. So I was there. It was a loving environment. Everybody cared about everybody and helped everybody. And since I'm a Bells Mill girl, you go away, you come back home, so naturally I returned to my home church. Possibly looking at the fact that many of the ladies of the church were members of the Eastern Star, as well as several of the male members being members of the Masons. When I think back about growing up in Mount Lebanon, and people ask me about public speaking, and I let them know that my first experience with public speaking was at Mount Lebanon, because during those times we had plays. The mothers gave you your part. That's what they called it, your part. You had to learn it. You could not read it. And during rehearsals, they would say, "Speak up, you're too low." So that was one of the things that I learned just growing up in Mount Lebanon. Mount Lebanon was always in the community. We would often feed people when they needed that. I look back at growing up in Bells Mill itself. It was a very progressive little community where you had many people who were related to each other. So when someone was in need, we were there as a church and as relatives to help, whether it be food, whether it be that someone was sick. The ladies of the church would often go into the home. They would cook, they would clean. They were called the missionaries, so they did great work. The Mount is Black history.